Hi, it's me again. Dr. Myers here to tell you what's in a module. In this case, the first thing you're going to notice when you enter a module, as you have done so already in Module 2B, congratulations for getting to this point. The first thing you're going to notice is the yellow table. On the left, these are chapters and sections that correspond to Greenlaw and Shapiro, your free online text. On the right-hand side, it is chapters from Parkin 8th edition, on which the course was based, but it's here because those are not just sections of the chapters, they're the learning objectives. So if you look down through there, it says, for instance, make and interpret a time series graph. Well, you could expect a question on a time series graph in your quiz. But do notice that there's 13 learning objectives there, and I'm only going to ask 10 questions. I may decide that some of those are more important than others, but that'll be a choice that'll be made throughout. Then you're going to see all the content, and I put it in two columns here. The first thing you're going to see is a Module 2 introduction. So that is not going to be there in every single module, but in this case, it is an introduction. You can see it's a web page. It's written by me, and it's going to go through what Module 2 is all about, maybe give you some ideas of what to look for and what have you. The next one is funny looking IM. Well, that's the instructor's manual for the Parkin text of chapter 1 in micro. So chapter 1, basically same chapter in Parkin and in Greenlaw and Shapiro. You're going to find an outline there that will help you see what is going on in more depth than just reading your text. And then the next is chapter 1, 8E, 8th edition. This is the PowerPoint from Parkin. Now, since the course was originally based upon the Parkin text, I still offer here, and I really advise you to use the PowerPoints as presented. The next one is the appendix, CH1A. And then in this module, and only this module, there is a graph quiz that's required. You cannot get past that point until you score a high enough score on the graph quiz. And if after a while you do not score a high score, we need to talk, because this is critical to be able to get through a course that's so heavily dependent on graphics as is this one. We go on. The worksheets. Now, some students say the worksheets are great. Most do not seem to care for them. It's your option. You can use them or not. Unlike the previous modules, you do not have to open all of these. But the worksheets, first, with no answers, ask you a number of questions to think about, and then you can bring up the next one, and it will give you the answers to each of the same questions. Then we get into another instructor manual, lecture, Econ 02 there, which is the chapter 2 of microeconomics, and the PowerPoint. In this case, and in many of these cases, you're going to find a lot of videos and supplemental work. In this case, this is actually a required video. You must watch it. It's Milton Friedman on free markets. It's 2 minutes, 10 seconds. I do try to give you the time so you can budget accordingly. More worksheets, this time on chapter 2. And here's a video. This was actually put in at a student request, which is more information on opportunity cost. Now, Hazlitt was your first introduction to opportunity cost. It's through the various chapters, yet the student asked for a little bit more. I put it in. I recommend it highly. And then you see the next one. Still confused about comparative advantage? This is something that really trips students, difference between comparative and absolute advantage. And again, there is a required video simply because so many students miss this, and this was there to help you get through your quiz. Then a little warning here from the syllabus. not to take quizzes back to back. You'll hear me say this a lot, especially in my responses to you if you do. And then a little question here. It says, are there 2 more files after this one? That's put only in this module simply to help you understand that if you didn't open the required modules, then you're not going to see anything beyond that point. So it tells you which ones to go back and make sure that you complete, and then the next step will open up. That will be a learning assessment. And that learning assessment is a form that you will fill out. It tells me that you've completed module 2, the quiz on 2, that you have scored. You'll give me your scores and some other information. I'll ask you some questions. That'll be emailed to me. You will get a copy. And on that basis, you will be able to be moved on to module 3. If you scored a 10, that's automatic. If not, you got to wait on me. So, good luck. I hope all of this goes very, very well for you. Now, overall, as you can see here, there's introduction, various chapter enhancements, content, so forth. And then if there's another chapter in the module, it'll repeat. And at the end, you take a module quiz of 10 questions. And it's only after those quizzes that you'll actually fill out the learning assessment. Because there's about 2 chapters per module here. There's some exceptions. So there's a lot of work to do this term. There's about 2 chapters per module, which is about 2 chapters per week.